Now, after the first wave of free agency, after all the moves that Ryan Poles has made this offseason so far, let's break down a mock draft, 7-round mock draft for the Chicago Bears, with everything seemingly under wraps. Let's start off with the first round, pick 25. They could go edge or safety at this position, maybe defensive tackle, those three areas. I don't see the Bears, taking another tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, or taking a receiver like, the Bears did last season. So let's go at pick 25. I think the Bears are going to take Zion Young. This is a pass rusher from Missouri that had a great Senior Bowl. Very impressive. The intangibles, the traits are there. The size is there. He fits perfectly for what Dennis Allen wants to do. 6'5", 262 pounds, 21 years old, has long arms, strong, physical. He has a deep pass rush IQ, deep bag. He has heavy hands and is great in run support. 52 pressures last season, 6.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 pass deflections. He is a dog. Him and Austin Booker together, really, that's something that I could see. 21 years old. Austin Booker's 23 years old. Austin Booker's ascending, 5.5 sacks last season, was great down the stretch towards the end of the season. Let's add another young pass rusher that could go with Booker, Dexter, a defensive tackle that we draft in this draft. The Bears defensive line looks better. So Zion Young, I think he would be that piece that matches what the Bears did offensively last season. Loveland, those guys that were really good right out the gates. I think Zion Young could be that for the Bears. He plays the run well. He has a high motor. He does not take plays off, and he's violent. This is somebody that Poles really tries to get in the draft. And I think this will pick 25, round 1. Dennis Allen finally gets his game record at defensive end. Now the Bears have 2 second-round picks. Let's break them down. Let's start off with pick 57. Grayson Halton out of Oklahoma. This is a draft sleeper. This is somebody that's fantastic. He could chase down quarterbacks. He's fast. I think he had the fastest 40 time for defensive tackles, a 4.82. Had a 9.6 broad jump, 36.5 inch vertical, 22 years old, fast. You can plug up some run gaps, huge upside as a pass rusher, really good in stopping the run. Would be a great scheme fit, 6'2", 293 pounds. He could play some defensive end. He could play some defensive tackle. Last season, he had 3.5 sacks, 31 tackles. And then in 2024, you saw a big year from him, having 5 sacks and 31 tackles. So productive defensive tackle. Like I said, has the versatility, perfect for the scheme Dennis Allen's trying to run. Kind of like a younger Grady Jarrett. He has that similar ability, similar build as well. With, him being a little undersized, but he's very disruptive, could be a game wrecker, and slippery with his quickness. This is somebody that, offensive linemen are going to struggle to block. Just he's so agile, that 4.82 speed in the 40. It translates very well to his game. Another guy like Zion Young, relentless pass rusher. So if the Bears could add him in the interior alongside a huge behemoth in Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, veteran, that look better towards the end of the season, Dio, defensive line, I think Grayson Halton would be a perfect addition to Zion Young and the other pieces that the Bears are adding to this defensive line this offseason. Now with pick 60, the other second-round pick that the Bears have, Jake Gallday, linebacker from Cincinnati. This guy's great size, 6'4", 237 pounds, effective at shedding blocks, a good run defender. The Bears' run defense was so poor last season. It's been really poor the last few seasons. There was a point where they were really dominant, one of the better units with Eberflus, but I think we've seen this defense fall off in that category. And if you are getting shredded, teams are able to run the ball on you. It made the difference against Rams. Kyron Williams had a really good game and was able to finish the Bears off. But Jake Gallday, he's going to help improve that at the linebacker position. Has great size. Still could run to a 4.6, 240-yard dash. 22 years old, but 104 tackles last season. 3.5 sacks. 3 pass deflections. A 90.6 run grade last season. He has good timing, good pursuit speed. Would be upgrade in coverage. Last season, he was one of the best linebackers in college football at Cincinnati. And he has that grit you need because he started off his collegiate career at Central Arkansas as a 190-pound linebacker. So there's upside in him too, like I said, to be good in coverage with the pursuit speed. The 40 time is pretty solid. We want our guys to be 4.4, 4.5, all that, but 4.62 is not bad, especially given his size and what he could do to stop the run. Just be a little decent in the coverage. But the length, the athleticism, will help him in coverage as well. Former edge, and he's got ability to be a monster with blitzing. Dennis Allen's going to have some fun blitzing him. 9.73 RAS score. Ryan Poles loves that. Scored the 4th best out of his position. So another upgrade at the linebacker position. I think this is a good value for him. It's not a Jacob Rodriguez, not these other guys, but would be a great addition in the linebacker room with DeMarco Jackson, TJ Edwards, and Devin Bush. Pick 89 in the 3rd round. I got the Bears taking Jalen Kilgore, versatile safety, fast as fuck too. He adds to, Kobe Bryant, Devin Bush, these fast guys you got on defense. Ran a 4.4 40, 21 years old, pretty young, fits a timeline, fits the nucleus of guys you want to add. And I think he would be one of those players that resembles, what you did offensively last season. Him, Zion Young, Grayson Halton, Jake Galladay. These are guys that I think could be difference makers as a rookie. He has starting safety capability. He allowed just a 53% completion percentage last season, 80.6 run defensive grade, great ball tracking, ball hawking safety, 8 career interceptions in his 3 seasons at South Carolina. 6'1", 211 pounds, can play safety, can play corner, versatile chess piece. So really like this selection and this value for a safety like this. That could be a game changer as well. So in the first 4 picks, I think defense, you go all defense and you don't miss. 2,200 snaps played in college at safety in 3 seasons. So the durability, the availability, 2 best assets you could possibly have. He also brings that. And the safety I really want the Bears to get. I think this is a perfect scheme fit. At pick 129, I got the Bears taking Logan Jones, former wrestler. Anybody from Iowa, if they're a former wrestler too, it's translated pretty well to the NFL. Tristan Wirfs, Tyler Linderbaum, we wanted him. Didn't work out. But getting Logan Jones, Garrett Bradbury, veteran center right now, a guy that, Logan Jones can learn from. I think that's a perfect combination of really nailing it in the offseason. And with the offensive line, the moves that they made, the depth that they've added, I think you're feeling great about your unit, not taking a step back from how good they were last season. But 4th, 7th round projection for Logan Jones, I think giving yourself an opportunity to get 4 guys on defense before 129 and still addressing your center need is huge. Logan Jones provides you that. Ran the fastest 40-yard dash at the combine with a 4.94. He can move. Really great blocking on the move. He's an outside zone center. Fits what the Bears do right now with their run game and what Ben Johnson wants to do. Little undersized center, but fast, athletic. Plays powerful, bruising guy that's, throwing guys in the dirt. 87.6 pass block grade, so he's a good pass protector. In the last 2 seasons, he's allowed 1 sack, 8 pressures, and he's had an 87.6 pass block grade. I think this type of player would be the best addition possible for the Bears, also allowing them to address other needs on defense, because I think you need to hit out the park with defense. If Ryan Poles is locking in and he's watching, those first 4 picks would hit out the park. And then with the 2 7th round picks, I got the Bears taking Skylar Gill-Howard, defensive tackle. In 2024, he had 51 tackles, 8 TFLs, and 5 sacks. And in the bench press at the combine, 27 reps he hit. In 2025, transferring over to Texas Tech because of his big year at NIU, he had a 90 pass rush grade. Wrestling background, you got to love that. In your trench guy, versatile defensive lineman, can play defensive tackle, can play defensive end, undersized, but he's quick, plays with quickness, has explosive first step. With him being undersized, if you could get him in the 7th round, that's a huge steal. Him behind Halton, Dexter, Grady Jarrett, and, the defensive tackles we signed in free agency, great. I think this guy has potential to be a huge steal, and he also has that grit. Walked on to NIU and had a fantastic year, went on to play Big 12 football, moved up in the ranks, and had a great year. 90 run grade. So this is a guy that I think in the 7th round, one of those guys that pans out and is still on the roster in 5 years. The last pick of the draft, I have the Bears taking Bishop Fitzgerald. Al Harris, he loves those ball hawking guys. Nashawn Wright had a fantastic season, resurrected his career, turned himself into something, and now he's with the Jets with another opportunity to build off of that. But Bishop Fitzgerald, everywhere he goes, interception production follows. 4.5 in the 40-yard dash. In 2025, he had 51 tackles, 5 interceptions, 3 pass deflections, and the season before at North Carolina State, 55 tackles, 7.5 TFLs, 8 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. So this is a ball hawking safety. He doesn't shy away from run support. He's a willing tackler. He has great closing burst, NFL closing burst. This is a perfect guy to add into the secondary. Experienced guy. Al Harris would definitely cook with him. Jalen Kilgore, Kobe Bryant, the young guys we got in the mix. I think that would just elevate that group even more. You improve the group from going from, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Kevin Byard, Brisker, to guys that could fly around the football, great in pass coverage, tackle, hit, and you have a lot of depth at that position now. So this is how I would do things. If Ryan Poles follows his blueprint, I think the Bears defense is cooking, and it's just as good as the Bears offense, while getting the center position, a huge need on offense, addressed. Let me know down below in the comments which selection is your favorite from this mock draft, and who are your must-haves in the draft for the Chicago Bears. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years, because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.